Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you a really delicious way to eat more vegetables. I'll be making Asian marinated vegetable salad with citrus vinaigrette, and I have a feeling this may become your new favorite salad. Okay, so first I'm going to make the citrus vinaigrette. Now here we have our citrus in the form of fresh orange juice. Now I like to juice my own oranges. It's easy to do. Basically, you need a half a cup of orange juice for the dressing, which I should be able to get from 2 medium oranges. First, I roll the orange on the counter, applying a little bit of pressure like this. Now, this helps to loosen the juice from the membrane. Then, I will cut them in half. And then juice them through a strainer into this measuring cup. Now I have this tool called a reamer that I'll push and twist into the orange half, like so. And that helps get a lot of the juice out. Now if you don't have a reamer, no problem. You can just use a fork or simply squeeze the orange by hand. Now, of course, you can also use store-bought orange juice from a carton if you don't want to juice the oranges yourself. Okay, one more. Now, if you use the store-bought, make sure that you get the 100% orange juice with no added sugar. All right. So, I have my half a cup of orange juice, and I'll just pour that into my blender. All right, I have some fresh cilantro. Now, oh man, that smells so good. Now, fresh cilantro looks a lot like Italian flat leaf parsley, so just make sure you are buying the right herb. Although you could substitute parsley if you wanted to. Now, I've already rinsed and dried the cilantro, so I'm just going to rip up enough for 1/4 cup. Okay, now it doesn't have to be cut neatly because it's just going to get blended. All right. Now, next we have just a little more citrus. Now, this time I have 1 tablespoon of lime juice, which is what you get from about half of a lime. And into the blender that goes. Now, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. You can use canola oil if you wish. Now, next I'm adding 1 teaspoon of honey. But first, my little trick. Now I'm going to coat my measuring spoon with cooking spray so it's easier to get the honey out of the measuring spoon and into the blender. All right, there we go. Okay, now just a few more ingredients for our vinaigrette and it already smells great. 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, ½ teaspoon of low sodium soy sauce, and last but not least, 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger. Now, just so you know, this is what fresh ginger looks like. Okay, you'll just need to remove the peel and then you can grate it through a cheese grater or just mince it up. Okay, so now I will turn on my blender and let that run for about 30 seconds until everything is smooth. So, my dressing is done. Now I'm just going to chill it in the refrigerator while I assemble the rest of the salad. Now, this dressing would be a delicious way to marinate chicken, fish, or even shrimp. You would just put your poultry or fish into a resealable bag with 2/3 of the dressing and let it soak in the refrigerator for about an hour. Then you discard the marinade in the bag, cook the chicken or fish, and then serve with the remaining dressing to coat. But of course, we're using the vinaigrette for veggies today. Now, here's what I have for the salad. First up, 1 cup of sugar snap peas. Then 1 cup of broccoli that I've cut into bite-sized pieces. I'm adding in 3 peeled carrots that are sliced. And next, I have 3/4 cup of red onion that I've thinly sliced like this. And I'll add those. I have 1 medium tomato that I've diced, and they go in. Now, you can also use 1 14.5-ounce can of no salt added or low sodium diced tomatoes. Just be sure to drain and rinse the tomatoes to get rid of any extra sodium. Next up, I have 1 medium orange that I have peeled and diced. Now, if you want, you could use mandarin orange sections. Just buy the ones in its own juice or light syrup and drain and rinse them before adding. Now, I'm going to add some nuts for extra crunch and nutrition. I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted, unoiled almond slices, but you could also use walnuts, peanuts, cashews, or pistachios. Just about any type of unsalted, unoiled nut would taste great in a salad. So in go the nuts. And last but not least, I have 1 teaspoon of unsalted roasted sesame seeds. Seeds and nuts are easy to roast or toast, and roasting them adds such great flavor without needing to add salt. Now, you can do it 2 different ways. I roasted these seeds in a skillet over medium heat until they started to darken, which took me about 5 minutes. Or you could roast them on a cooking sheet or a piece of aluminum foil in an oven at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes or until they start to darken. Just keep an eye on them so they don't burn. All right, so I'll add my roasted seeds to the rest of the salad. And now it's ready to toss with the citrus vinaigrette. I am going to add 3/4 cup of the vinaigrette. That smells so good. And I'll just toss everything together. And now into the refrigerator it goes. Now, I like to chill it for about 4 hours so the vinaigrette has time to marinate with all the veggies. But if you don't have that much time, you could skip the refrigerator chill if you need to. All right, so I'll put my remaining vinaigrette in the refrigerator too, and that'll stay fresh for about a week. All right, let me take care of this first. And there you go. You now have a delicious veggie salad with an Asian and citrus twist to add to your lunch or dinner routine. I hope you get to enjoy this one with your family soon. Thanks for watching.